Okay, I'm pretty sure we're rolling.
We're rolling.
Alright, as you can see, I got the quarter scale mostly together. I got it in a coat of primer. I've done extensive amounts of sanding. It's getting monotonous. I put the filler on, I take the filler off. I put it on, I take it off. Just trying to create, you know, the smoothest surface I can get. Don't want any what they call fish hooks where the molds, you know, where the molds will get hooked up on things. And now that I've actually got it all in primer, I still got a few, you know, little spots, nicks, dents to fill. I still have the a running board. There's a running board. I still have a running board on this side. I got one just sitting here. It still needs to be glued on permanently. The underside where it touches will be filled, glued, so that it's a nice transition for the molds. This little pocket here, this little pocket obviously is going to have a piece of something put in there. I noticed on the tailgate there's a couple little fish hooks. There's a couple little fish hooks right down in here. I don't know if the camera can zoom in and see, but there's a little gap right down in there, and that's most certainly going to have some filler put in it. That would be what they call a fish hook, where the resin gets hooked up on it. We're getting closer though. We're getting closer. I wanted to put the back wheels and the front wheels on it so you could all see what it looked like. It looks pretty bitchin' with the wheels under it, but it sits way too high because it's not set up. You know, I had to put some reinforcement inside here to hold the box and the cab and everything together. This door has not been seamed yet. This has about a 30-second. It's got about a 30-second material there. I'm still not 100%. I'd like to put a trim in here to represent the door for the final mold. Kind of undecided on that. Kind of undecided on a lot of stuff because I've never taken on a molding process quite this intense. This is going to be 6 pieces, you know, front mold, rear mold, top, windshield, roof, a split, the rear, the tonneau cover, and then hopefully 2 sides. So that'll be a 6-piece split mold. And I've never done a split mold, you know. I've done stuff like this, where this is this was for a gas boat, 3-point hydro. We have the top. These are really old molds. They've been, I don't think I've pulled a mold out of these probably for almost 10 years. It's got the built-in radio box. These are a 4th generation mold. The molds kept changing over, you know, over periods of years. This is the bottom. We got a step sponson. We've got an indent for the drive to go through. There are pictures on my Facebook Shark Customs for these boats. I believe there's a couple on there that are finished with some fancy paint. I made canopies. The canopies would just basically hook over the finished product like that. You know, a couple magnets or tape to hold it down. This one actually has a skull face right in the mold. And then I think I only ever pulled one of these molds. It looked pretty cool when it was all airbrushed up. Set that there. And then I've also got a mold old mold. You can see, I don't even know if this one was ever, a part was ever pulled out of it because it's pretty rough. And this was just a straight up with a scoop, just a straight up canopy. You know, looked like an aircraft. You know, looked like an aircraft when it was on the hydro boat. Just some of my old molds. I got other molds kicking around for big old gas boats. So yeah, I've been dedicating most of my time to this quarter scale project. I'm hoping by this weekend, I believe it's Wednesday, and I believe by the weekend I want to get this into paint. Because once it's in paint, I'm going to let it sit for about a week to cure. I'm hoping that the paint, there's still some minor imperfections here and there. I still have the frame, I still have the chassis to work on. I would like to get the servos on it, get it fired up, kind of getting it driving around just to see how that is all going to transpire, how it's going to work, see if I need to change the pulley ratio. I do want it to spin the tires. It's going to be more of a show cruiser. But yeah, this is basically going to go on the shelf for a week, maybe 2 weeks, because I'd like to get my priorities back in check and get working back on, you know, the 2 real trucks. I'm kind of missing grinding steel and welding and what have you. I might have requests for a few more boat hauls, just because spring is approaching, and I got a friend of mine, he avid boater, airplane enthusiast, just an RC guru. You know, I'm building this purely because I just want a replica of our trucks, the his and hers, if you want to call them that. I don't know if you get the full look. I like to show this on the video because it shows the sheer scale of how big this thing is. You know, this ain't no little 1/5 or 1/8 scale toy. I know there's lots of other big RCs out there, and I can't wait to get a part, get the molds made, and get a part out of this. It's going to be interesting, just purely because it's something I've never done. I've never done anything to this extent. I've never spent this much time working on a scale model. Now don't forget, share, like, subscribe, and always comment. I like to reply to your comments, good or bad. Anything you want to know, put it in the comments. That's going to be our short little video for tonight. Later.